Hello everyone, my name is Kevin, and today I'm gonna talk about a polemic subject, which is don't use else. At least try to avoid it, because even though else is a valid statement, I will argue during this video that most of the times it's not the best option to your code to make it more readable. Yeah, so let's just start with the video. Firstly, I brought an example here of a function called do something. And do something, what does it do? If it's authenticated, do something. Else, just log this error. If has permission, do something. Else, does not have permission. And this is the block of code. The first issue that I see with this block of code is that it's way too far from the left. Like the code is starting to look horizontal. If we had more conditions, it would look even worse. To avoid that, firstly, I have a tip, which is when you have a big block inside the if and just a regular else, just a single line one or not that much code inside of it, you can actually do the negative condition here, and it would look like this. 1 second. If not is authenticated, then log not authenticated, and then I'll return escape the function. So I'm escaping the function with the return. We won't get to this next line of the code. Since I'm not checking that, I can remove that else, and I can also remove the if. And let me dent it. All right, right now we have a has permission, and we're going through the same thing. It could look a little better if we change this condition for the negative one. So if I do the if not has permission, and inside of here, I log, I'll get the same string here. It's authenticated, but does not have permission. Oops, I copied the quotes and return. Then I can also remove this else here, indent it back, and now we have a vertical code. So everything, like our main block of code, is on the upper level of the function. Doesn't it look better? Isn't it easier to read? If I change it back just to compare, first, oops, I'm getting to the next examples. So first, if I'm here, I need to think that, or inside this else, for example, that it doesn't have permission, but it's inside. You need to go to reverse engineer the conditions. While here, it's like we are separating the validations first. So if it's not authenticated, if it doesn't have permission, and then we get to the important part of the code. I'm not gonna get into if you had big codes in both if and else, but long story short, maybe you could have different functions to do each behavior instead of having, let's say, a flag, this condition that will make the function work in a very different way. Anyhow, let's go to the next example. And for this next one, I decided to bring a very common operator, the switch case statement, which, I mean, it's not hard to read, but it's also verbose. And because of how verbose it is, I think there are better options, and I tend to avoid switch cases in general. I just use them in very specific places. For example, if I'm writing a React reducer, just because it's a pattern of the community, and I don't want to be the different one. I think that people will look at the switch case and they will already know it's a reducer if I'm using the switch case. That's the only reason I use it. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm gonna compare it with the if else first, and I wanted to bring this example here because many people might argue that, hey, else if and else, they're valid. Everyone learns it, everyone knows how they work, and here, even though I have a return that will prevent the code from entering two conditions, maybe it's clearer like that. It's more readable because everyone knows this operator, and yeah, it will only get here if it didn't, fall into another condition before. Yeah, it makes sense, but I still think that comparing, I made them single line. It could be multiple lines still if I open the if. I still think avoiding the else if might make it even more readable because you're writing less stuff, it's less verbals. And I think it's clear enough as well. And if you are sticking to the functional paradigm, which is pretty common, but if you are, it's less usual to have just an if block that doesn't escape the function, because otherwise you need to cause side effects. If you are just changing something inside the scope of the if statement, you need to access global variables or do other stuff. So it's less common. But I'm here actually to give another option for this type of things, this type of code, which is to use objects to get the specific values. I think if statements are an advantage when you have more complex comparisons. For example, if number is greater than 3, like greater than 3 can't be the key of an object. So right here on cases that we would use switch case statements, I would prefer writing like const got permissions object. That's how I'm gonna call it. No got get. That's why the suggestions. All right. Thank you, Copilot. Oh, it was supposed to be read. My bad. Yeah. Let's see the ternary. So that would be our function. I'm just gonna won't make a difference here, but anyways, what we have here right now, we expect to receive a role, and we are gonna pass this role as a key to permissions. So if I pass admin, like if role is equals to admin, then the returned value will be this array with the permissions of an admin. User, read, guess, the same thing. And if I pass an invalid key that doesn't belong to the permissions object, then I'm just gonna return this empty array. So do you see that this is the same behavior as this one? Or, let me just copy it over here. The same behavior, as this one, but which one looks cleaner? Or let me get the switch case and make the code even smaller, because which one looks cleaner? Maybe, no, you won't say this one, come on. It's very variables. In general, I would say, hey, avoid switch case statements. Almost all of them can be replaced by objects. All of them, probably. We could also have functions here. Hey, if it's an admin, do something admin like whatever, or just like that. And here we would be able to, I don't know, call whatever we found. But yeah, that's the thing. I hope you liked the video. I hope you saw alternatives to the else statement, and you can come up with your own opinions on which one you'll use from now on. Anyways, please like this video, comment right here if you like this tip, or if you still think, hey, I prefer to go with the classical way, just if, else, if, else, if, else, if, else. And subscribe to the channel. I've been posting videos every Wednesday, so stay tuned.